Are we here? Hey, everybody, I'm absolutely a mess tonight. So, hey, everybody, welcome to the big show. My name is Mickey. This is Mickey in the Middle, the quintessential show for middle Americans, where all middle Americans are welcome. Doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter where you go. It just matters that you're here right now, embracing your middleness. Uh, Middle America is where it's at. We try not to listen to the 20% of the crazies on the right or the 20% of the crazies on the left. We just try to come to some type of a consensus right here that makes sense for the American people that are living in the middle of the country. We're just average Americans. We just want the government to leave us alone. I'm more libertarian than I am anything else, and I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here and spend some time. But tonight we're going to be talking about some critical thinking. And critical thinking is very, very important. Before we do that, let's go on to the Chat Olympics. Darla Joe Bennett. Oh my goodness, congratulations. You have got the gold medal, Darla Joe Stewart Bennett, the only viewer that we have with 4 names. So congratulations. And Darla, Joe, Stewart, and Bennett can all be first names. I was gonna say the lady with the four first names. And then Carolyn Greggs Ledger bringing in the silver and Susie bringing in the bronze. That is awesome. Hi, Debbie Caldwell. I'm sorry to report that you just finished off of the podium, but I want to let you know that we will be back here again. Remember to like, share, hit the notification bell because we're here every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central, whenever I can make it. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate all of you guys being here watching this as well. So, what have I been doing? Well, let me tell you what I've been doing. I've been. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that because I'm the president of the Greystone Communities Property Owners Association. I don't want to be. I don't want to be. A few years ago, I was trying to be a nice guy, trying to fill in for somebody while they were gone, and I haven't been able to shake the thing. I love my community. I love my community. Matter of fact, grabbed I just grabbed my ladder and I went to our front flagpoles, which are approximately 30 feet high, maybe 40 feet high. You remember the shooting that they had in Uvalde, Texas? Well, we lowered the flags to half mast. Well, somebody had to go and put them back up, so I went up there and I raised them back up. Oh, somebody sent me a transaction on my phone. I've never heard that sound before. So anyway, I love my community. I love the fact that I live in Cabot, Arkansas. I love the fact that I got great neighbors. I love and uh, but as the president of the Community Property Owner Association, man, there are some people that do 2 things. Number 1, all they do is complain. Complain, 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 complain. And then the second thing they want to do is they don't want to listen. They don't want to read the rules. They don't want to ask questions. They want to make a bunch of assumptions and then they want to go with that. And then when they're wrong, it ends up being a disaster. And when you contact somebody and you just go, "Hey, just want to let you know that I'm trying to do these things and I'm trying to make the world a little bit better of a place, but they refuse to talk to you." Oh, this is a great quote. This is a great quote. I'm not going to tell you who sent it. I'm not going to tell you who sent it. Uh, this is a great quote. Uh, I sent, "Hey, just want to let you know this is what the deal is with solar panels." And then quote unquote, I said, "Hey, do me a favor. If you want to talk about this, go ahead and give me a call. There's my telephone number." And then she says, "I have a strict policy that I don't give my telephone number out to men who probably voted for Trump. So, no, I won't be. Please go bother someone else's wife." I'm not really sure how she made an assumption that I voted for Trump or the fact that I was bothering her. Go bother somebody else's wife. So I responded back and I was like, "Well, this is the information that you need to know about the subject that we were talking about. And by the way, this will be the last time I contact you by PM unless you contact me. Have a nice night." You want to know why? Because people can't think. People cannot think. I don't know how freaking hard this is. People don't know how to read. You know, they have They have like 70 Federalist Papers. The Federalist Papers, written by people like Hamilton and John Jay and somebody else. Anyway, the founders of our country and the forefathers of our nation that had legitimate information to give to the public so that the public could support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's why they wrote the Federalist Papers. They explained the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, Third, Fourth, Fifth, 10th Amendment. They didn't pass it at the same time they passed the Constitution, but they explained all of this stuff, and they put the Federalist Papers editorials in all of the major newspapers throughout the United States of America before the United States of America was the United States of America. Why do I say that? Because people have no idea what's in this little thing we call the Constitution of the United States of America. They don't understand freedom of speech. They don't understand the fact that there are people out there that want to stop you from saying whatever the hell you want to say. And they're like, oh, there's a limitation of free speech. There's not supposed to be a limitation of free speech. You're not supposed to have anybody muzzle you. You're not supposed to have anybody threaten to throw you in jail when you say something. You're not supposed to have anybody threaten your family, your livelihood, or anything else because you disagree with them. How hard is that to critically think through that process? I would like to talk about freedom of speech for just a second. If you say that I don't have the freedom to say whatever the hell I want to say, what makes you think I want to give you the freedom to say whatever the hell you want to say? And say, well, we don't like your opinion on global warming or transsexuals or LGBTQ or race relations or economics or anything else that's on the planet. So therefore, you're not allowed to say that. We're going to restrict your free speech because there's no constitutionally guaranteed right that's absolute. Well, what do you think is going to happen when the winds change? What do you think is going to happen when the wind changes and you all of a sudden become unpopular and your opinion becomes unpopular? That is why people are allowed to say and think whatever they want to say or think or do. I don't even agree with the libel laws. You libeled me. You lied about me and you cost me money. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, oh, they can piss off. She said something bad things about me and now I can't get work. Do you need work, dude? You got $100 million. Make your own damn movies. Nobody else will hire me. Please, you're Johnny Depp, dude. Go play your guitar somewhere. Do something. Look, there's some things that you can't say. I get it. But that list is so damn small. So small. It's nearly insignificant in the larger picture of things. And we need to keep that freedom absolute. Because if you start thinking about the process of shutting other people down, and you do, then you will eventually be in a position where you can be shut down because you have endorsed the concept before. That's what you call critical thinking. It's not hard. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Religion. There's no religion in the United States of America. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. All men are created equal. Certain unalienable rights, among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. Creator? Isn't that God? I'm just saying, right? Isn't that what it says in here? Table of contents. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Yeah, you're right. Religion has absolutely nothing to do with the moral fabric of the United States of America. It says it right in there. It says it on our money. In God we trust. God has nothing to do with the country. It says on our money, in God we trust. Now, I don't believe that anybody should have the right to take a religion and institute a religion over the country. And that's why the First Amendment says, First Amendment of the Constitution says, those are the articles. Sorry. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. That means that the government cannot establish a religion or declare that any religion is better than any other religion or prohibit the free exercise thereof. That means that everybody gets to be their own religious in their own way. Everybody. Critically think about that. Atheism is a religion. Being agnostic is a religion. Being in touch with nature, being a Wiccan, being a Christian, being a Jew, being a Muslim, being a whatever the heck you want to be. It doesn't mean that you have to separate the human being that wants to represent people and their religion so that they can go into Congress or the presidency or into a judicial spot. People are people. They get to religiously worship however they think. And people that are going to the Supreme Court, they're saying, hey, look here, you're Catholic. You have extreme views. You're going to impose your moral restrictions on the world if we put you on the Supreme Court. They said that to Judge Amy Coney Barrett. So the implication is that nobody's allowed to be any type of religious in our schools, in our political sphere, in our court system, that you're not supposed to have any values based on anything you might have learned in church. Well, where do we get values from? How do you tell right from wrong without having a moral authority of some type saying what's wrong or right? Well, murder is bad. We found that out from Uvalde. But you know what? Kids dying on the street of Atlanta, LA, New York, St. Louis, Little Rock, Arkansas. Guess what? That's morally reprehensible as well. Think through the process. Think through the problem. If somebody gets shot in St. Louis, what does that have to do with me having and owning a gun as a law-abiding citizen in Cabot, Arkansas? Can anybody explain the critical reasoning of that? I'm 60 years old. I've been handling guns my entire life. And all of a sudden you say, you son of a bitch, we're taking your guns. What did I do? It doesn't even make sense. There's no critical thinking. If you go, hey, look here, man, I would like to make the argument that an 18-year-old does not have the mental capabilities and the mental faculties to be able to buy a weapon or use a weapon outside of a controlled environment until they're 21. At least that's making a reasonable argument for one side rather than the person down in Uvalde killed somebody. We need to make the law 21. That's not an argument. That's not an argument. That's not even critical thinking. But then you turn back and you go, wait a minute, if you're not allowed to make a critical judgment until you're 21 about handling firearms, how in the world can you say that a 7-year-old or a 10-year-old can change their sex? You can't have it both ways. That's not critical thinking. Critical thinking is, hey, look here, a 21-year-old finally has the mental faculties in order to be able to handle the responsibility of a firearm. That means that a 7-year-old does not have the mental faculties to decide whether they want to change their gender. When you start linking these things and you start applying critical thinking to all of these things, now all of a sudden now you might have some political points to gain. And that's what a debate is about. But if you make up your mind prior to going in that you're not going to listen to the other side of the argument, then all of a sudden that means that you're not trying to find reasonable solutions for problems that we have in the United States of America. So I'm going to go to my notes. I'm going to figure out what I wrote. So here we go with the notes. Oh, by the way, I got a low dose CT scan on my chest at the behest of my daughter who's in medical school. And I have no suspicious pulmonary nodules. Nodules? Nodules. I have none of that in my lungs. That means I got a heart thing. My heart checked last year. My lungs checked this year. Healthy as a horse at 59 years of age. So, uh, here we go. Critical thinking. We have stupid people making the rules for the rest of us. I repeat, stupid people are making the rules for the rest of us. Why in the F would anybody ever stop for a cop again? Because in Washington state, they have a rule that the police are not allowed to chase somebody that they are suspecting of a crime. What was that? The police are not allowed to chase somebody that they have suspected of a crime. So the number on that is there have been, where is it? 935 people this year that have run from the cops this year. 935. That's crazy. I say everybody in Washington needs to run for the cops and then make the cops come and find you. And then when they find you, make sure that they have to prove who you are, that you were in the car, operating the car, and then make sure that you have to get connected back to the crime that you were suspected of fighting anyway. It's going to be impossible. The cops are going to give up. So good luck with that, Washington. There's no critical thinking there. That's crazy. Let's talk ignorance, information, exploration, and acceptance or rejection of an idea. And finally, the strength of your endorsement for an idea. Ignorance. We're all born ignorant of everything. We're all ignorant when we are born. For some people, they embrace that, enjoy being stupid and ignorant. I just call them stupid people. Information is something new. I'll tell you about it. Information is information that we put into our stupid, ignorant brain, and then we have to decide what to do with it. Are we going to keep that information? Are we going to get rid of it? It's going to be stuck in there forever? Well, you got to find out, because when you go from totally ignorant, you have a blank slate, to all of a sudden having some information, all of a sudden that makes you aware of what the situation is. Exploration. Now you have to explore the idea about the information, and you have to find out whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's right, whether it's wrong. You need to find out whether the information is good. You need to find out whether your eyes are deceiving you. The information that you read is true. You need to, if you watch a movie, you need to go, wow, is this fact or is this fiction? Is somebody got an opinion? Is somebody just telling me an opinion, or is this actually factual data that can be backed up? Finding out what the new information means spiritually, physically, mentally, societally, interrelationally, how it affects different things. There are three types of exploration: facts, empirical data, and opinion. Stupid people have no way of knowing the difference between the three. Stupid people cannot tell the difference between opinion, empirical data, and factual data. And that blows my mind. So if I go, hey, it's raining outside, they go, oh, it's raining outside. But they don't go out to the window and look. And I could be full of crap. I could be. But people are like, oh, it's raining outside. I better get a... They don't know how to distinguish empirical data, facts, and opinion. Stupid people have no way of knowing the difference between the three. I can tell whether I need to listen to somebody within 2 minutes of starting a conversation with them. The fact is, most people do not even want to have a conversation with somebody that they think is wrong, although they have no idea what the heck they are talking about. And that's where we're sitting today, folks. People have no idea whether they're right or wrong. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know anything about climate change. You want to know why? Because they're saying, trust me. That's what they're saying. They're saying, hey, trust me on this climate change thing. Oh, and give me money. Well, I'm always very suspicious when somebody says, hey, trust me, give me your money. And then they put out a bunch of fancy charts. And the charts, instead of being graphed in a way where this is a 0 and this is 100, they break the chart down to where it goes from like 65 to 66. And then they show an incremental 1/10 of a temperature change. But it's not inside the big scale of 100. They break the scale down until it gets on a microcosm. So people misunderstand the information. They go, oh my God, temperature is fluctuating 2 degrees. Look at the great big huge fluctuation in the temperature of the earth. Well, yeah, it's going to show that big because you're showing 100ths or tenths of a degree rather than inside. You know what it would look like if you had it on a scale of 100? It'd look like a damn flat line. If you had temperature of the earth on a flat line on a 160-degree scale, it would be flat across at like 65 degrees. That's a fact. So people are taking information and they're skewing it using charts, graphs, and other data to mess with people's mind. That's just so when I say that I don't know about whether the earth is warming or not, I got to trust somebody. And I think that a lot of people are lying about this bullshit. And I guarantee that nobody on the other side can sit down and have a discussion with me that is smarter than me on this. And I'm not talking about a Facebook war. I'm talking about sit across a desk from me and explain a lot of shit I got questions about. Ice core samples, for example. How many do you have? You have 100? Do you have 1,000? Do you have 10,000? What is the geological distribution of the ice core samples? Have you gone to the bottom of the ocean? Do you know what the CO2 level is in the mud that's down at the bottom of the ocean? How many of those do you have? I know that you've got core samples of the earth that goes down, but the earth changes. I got a lot of questions that I got to ask. Was it warmer when we had dinosaurs on the planet? Pretty sure it was. The only thing that killed dinosaurs that replaced us with dinosaurs is a meteor. I'm going to say, meteor hit the earth. I believe, I don't know, wasn't there, didn't see it, right? So this is the scientific evidence that somebody has collected. I don't know, might be total bullshit. Asteroid hit the earth, maybe. Caused a nuclear winter. Clouds enveloped the earth. Everything died because sunlight couldn't get through, so all the plants died, and then all the animals died. A couple of things made it, thank God. Thank God a couple of things made it because we came out of the primordial ooze and then have advanced to the way that we are and how stupid people are today. Just saying. We're not much smarter than the primordial ooze, but people want me to be convinced that they are so smart. Yet I know that so many people are so full of shit. Sad, really. It's very, very sad. So if you have this information, you have to accept it or reject it. And people are accepting information from empirical data or opinion without doing the further research on that. And this is what I'm talking about. When you go talk to kids about this document right here, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution of the United States of America. The Constitution of the United States of America is like 7 pages long. Nobody knows what the hell's in it. Nobody knows what's in it. They're like, the Constitution of the United States needs to be changed because it's a dead document. What do you mean it's a dead document? It's not a dead document. As a matter of fact, the last time it was changed was 1992. It was changed in 1992. That was when I was 30 years old. 92, 62, 72, 82, 92. 92. That was when I was 30 years old. So look at my gray hair. I'm not that old, although I got gray hair, right? So the last time the Constitution of the United States, this dead document, which was originally written in 1793. When the heck did the Constitution get written? 1844? No, it couldn't be 1844. Man, I don't know when this thing was written. Anyway, it was after 1776 because in 1776 when the Declaration of Independence was written, and that's when we told England or Great Britain to kiss our ass. King George, to be specific. Do you know how many of our high schoolers are coming out of high school and they don't know about the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution of the United States of America? You want to know why? Because they're stupid. They're stupid. I'm going to tell you, I'm blaming all the teachers for this. All of you teachers that have all of these kids that are out there that don't know about the Constitution of the United States, Declaration of Independence, this is your damn fault. Well, it's not my fault. I teach history. I teach English or I teach math. It doesn't matter. We should talk about this all the damn time because we're the greatest country that's ever been brought forth on this earth. We declared our independence so that people could be free. And you fail to communicate that to every single one of these students every single year. This is an epic, epic failure of the education system. And I love the education system. Hell, I got a degree in education. I do. I was married to perhaps the greatest person. Oh, here we go. This is her. Hey, honey. That's right. She's a fighter. You want to know where she is? She's in Philadelphia. You know what she was doing in Philadelphia? She was running up the stairs like Rocky. She was winning. Absolutely spectacular woman. The best educator in the United States of America until she passed away. Phenomenal educator. Very, 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 very tiny majority of people disagreed with her educational philosophy. And her love for children cannot be spoken of in any higher terms. She loved children. She loved education. She loved the educational process. I know education. I've got a degree from the College of Education at SIU, Southern Illinois University, Workforce Education and Development. I was an instructor for 25 years in the United States military. I'm an instructional systems platform instructor. I got certificates in instructional systems design. Hell, I even helped start a school in Arkansas. That's how much I love education. I actually helped start a school. Here's the reason. We're not teaching our children to critically think about stuff so that they don't have the ability to accept or reject an idea. They just take it for faith on faith that what somebody told them is true. Ridiculous. And then the strength of endorsement of your idea is probably the biggest problem that we have because people get this stupid idea in their head that they are right and they're willing to go to the mat on it. They're willing to go to the mat on it. Nobody should work. Everybody should get free money. That is singularly the stupidest thing you could ever do in the world. Where does the money come from? Well, the government should give it to the people. Where's the government going to get it from? The people. So you want the government to take the money from the people. And then you want the government to give the money to the people. Well, let's back that up just a second. If the government's going to give the money to the people, if you reverse that people and the people give the money back to the government and the government gives it back to the people that gave it to them, where are the people that are giving it to the government getting it from? If they don't have to work because the government's giving them money. Well, people will want to work on their own. That's bullshit. I know way too many people, and people are lazy. You give them 3 squares, a roof over their head, give them a vacation every once in a while. They ain't working. They ain't going to do shit. I found myself falling into that trap. Simple fact of the matter is that we do not have anybody that critically thinks anymore. Our young people. You want to learn how to critically think? You come in here. I will work through any single problem that you have. I know how to critically think. I don't know how to read charts real good because I always sucked at that. But we'll figure them out if we have to. All right. Hey, everybody. Hey, Danny. How you doing? All right, let's get to the comments. Danny says she wasn't even civil. Yeah, that's true. All right. So, sadly, there are stipulations on freedom of speech now. Courts are overwhelmed with trials. I know, Danny. By the way, Danielle, oh, she's my niece. I love that kid. She is awesome. Living down there. She's another one that's down in Mississippi and up to no good. That's awesome. Freedom of speech was fought for and should be upheld. Yes, ma'am. Almost without limitations. You have to have the ability to tell somebody that they're a dumbass. By the way, you can tell anybody just about anything as long as you say it's your opinion. That's why we don't say the person that just shot that person on camera over there is guilty of a crime. All we can say is it is our assumption and the person has been accused but not convicted of the crime. If you say, then that's defamation going in. So I can say, in my opinion, you're an asshole. And then that's my opinion. It's not written down as fact. However, if I say there is definite proof that you are an asshole, and I write that down or I say it out loud and other people can hear it, then I can be taken in for defamation and liable because I stated that as a fact. And so as long as you say it's my opinion, then you're good to go. All righty, here you go. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp was different in my opinion. She filed false allegations about him through the judicial system. Right. So here's the thing about that. That goes down to, are you damaging somebody's reputation to the point where it costs them money and they can't make a living? Or are you saying that this is an opinion? Because here's the thing is, although I don't agree with that, you ought to be able to go, hey, look here, you can say whatever you want about anybody else. If people can either believe it or not. If we got to a world where I got to say whatever I want and you got to say whatever I want, then people would have to filter that stuff out and actually start critically thinking. We can't have the court system and everybody else trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong. Here's the deal is people say shit that's wrong all the time. They say stuff that, it's like, we need to ban semi-automatic weapons. And you go, most weapons in the United States are semi-automatic weapons. They go, no, they're not. Well, they just lied. Most weapons in the United States of America are semi-automatic. It doesn't matter whether it's a revolver, doesn't matter whether it's a semi-automatic handgun, a repeating rifle, one click, one bang. They just lied when they say, no, there are not, most weapons are not semi-automatic. They are. Simple fact of the matter is that I'm almost a pure free speech absolutist. If you want to talk bad about me, talk bad about me. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you cost me money. I don't. So, and then, and by the way, this is the beautiful thing about this. So I disagreed with Danielle Elizabeth. I just disagreed with her. Guess what? Nothing happened. She said something about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I disagreed with her. Guess what? I still love her. And we're still going to get together on Thanksgiving or next time I get down to Mississippi. So, and then, controlled environment. 18-year-olds can go fight for our freedom when they go to war. It's not a controlled environment. Oh, that is correct. However, so this is a great example. Danny, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate this. Right. So this is why this is an interesting topic. The reason is there are a lot of arguments that say, hey, look here, if you're 18-year-old, you ought to be able to drink a beer. But you can't drink a beer in all 50 states until you're 21, although you can serve and die for your country. So there are many, many arguments that we cannot solve here today because I believe that a 12-year-old ought to be able to go out squirrel hunting with a doggone rifle that 12-year-old got from his pappy when the pappy gave it to him for Christmas. That's what I personally believe. I believe that we need to do a lot of things about mental health and about security of our country and locking down our schools and everything like that. But I'm not here to argue for 21. I'm not here to argue for red flag laws. I'm not here to argue for securing our schools or changing the laws. This is about critical thinking. I'd be more than happy to sit down with anybody in a calm, cool, collected manner and talk about any single one of these issues inside of the issue of saving lives in America. So I'm not endorsing any of the policies that I talked about tonight. I was just talking about critical thinking and two different sides of an aisle. But I would like to point out that Danny's my niece and she's smart and she's a patriot and she knows about this stuff. You want to know why? Because she is a red-blooded, freedom-loving American. That's why. Let's see. Donnie Walker says, replying to Danny Elizabeth, war itself isn't a controlled environment. Training that military personnel get it's done. It's true. They also learn the proper way to fight, do their job. That is true. 1779. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Donnie. I appreciate it. 1779. That's when the Constitution was written. There you go. You are so right. People don't think anymore that spews mainstream spoon feeds That is right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that comment, Debbie, that you are 100% correct. Replying to Danny Elizabeth, I understand their controlled environment. What's a controlled? Steve Hayes, in my opinion, look at that, Danny. Everybody thinks you're awesome. Steve Hayes says, in my opinion, you're awesome. LOL. Or was he talking to me because I'm so good looking? Replying to Danny, Murphy shows up and everything goes to shit. You can't control the situation. That is true. And then last comment by Debbie. Correction. Thank you very much, Donnie. Society expects everything for nothing. Government doesn't want people to think for themselves at all. If you think you are a threat to them, that is my opinion as well. So thank you very much for that, Debbie. And then last but not least, got to go back to Donnie, 1787. Thank you very much. That's when the Constitution probably wasn't ratified until that later date that I said. So 1787, 1787. That's right, 11 years. That's right. That's when it's finally ratified. So anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, everybody. Without further ado, that's going to be the show for the night. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate you tuning in, listen to me ramble. Thank you very much for the comments. Remember to like, share, hit the notification bell. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you guys doing that, sharing this information with your friends. Also, your comments are so right on. I've got such smart people that come in and make comments and cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Just want to let you know that I love you very much. Thank you very much. God bless the USA. God bless Middle Americans. Remember, Mickey in the Middle, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central, right here wherever I am, right there wherever you are. Like, share, hit the notification bell. And without further ado, good night, small one. I love you. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, there it is. See ya.